It's not a lot of fun being a hot sleeper, whether it's because of your hormones, like you're going through perimenopause or menopause, or it's because of medication or whatever, health related thing that you've got going on, or if you're just a hot sleeper in general, if you've got a really high metabolism and you just run hot. It can be really hard to be comfortable when it's time to go to sleep, and it can be difficult, if not impossible, to stay asleep because you end up going through this cycle where you start getting hot. In my case, I get a hot flash, but when you start feeling hot and then your body starts sweating to sort of cool itself down, and then you end up being sweaty, and then you get cold because the air cools that sweat, and you kind of go back and forth between being hot and cold all night long. By morning, you're not feeling rested, and you can get by for a night or two, with a little bit of sleep deprivation. We've all done it. But over time, when you're getting less and less sleep night after night, that just gets worse. It becomes harder to focus during the day. You don't have energy for all of the things that you may be used to. And, at least in my case, I start getting pretty grumpy and even snippy with people when I haven't gotten enough sleep. I try to control that, but I'm sure it's hard to picture me as being snippy, but it can happen, especially when I'm tired. But there are actually ways to make your bed cooler at night. And as far as I'm concerned, that's one of the first lines of sleep defense, finding ways to make your bed cooler at night so you're not getting so hot, you're not getting as night sweaty through the course of the night, and hopefully sleeping a little more soundly, from the time you lay down to the time that you wake up. So we're going to talk about several different options as far as things that you can consider or even buy to help to make a cooling bed that's going to help you combat hot flashes, night sweats, and just general hot sleeping. So of course, you'll want to keep your needs and your budget in mind, but the things that I'm going to share run the range as far as being expensive to almost dirt cheap. So there are going to be solutions for everybody based on what you're able to spend or not. Before we get into specific products, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that you can do in general to make your bed cooler at night. First off, your sheets and your overall bedding should ideally be made from natural materials that are a little more breathable. And these include things like cotton percale, linen, lyocell, Tencel, silk, or bamboo, things that are created from natural fibers. These are going to let more air pass through, but that's also going to help to let more of your body heat escape through the material. So it's not being held tightly against your body all night long. So when you're having a hot flash or you're just feeling hot in general, they're not going to absorb the heat as much. At least some of it is going to go away. It's going to pass through the material and leave the presence of your body, so you're a little bit cooler. Plus, these materials are also moisture wicking. So if you do get sweaty, they're going to help to wick away that moisture from your body a little bit better than synthetic materials, your polyesters and things like that they tend to trap heat in, but they also don't really absorb any moisture at all. So you're just gonna, you're just kind of like wrapped up in your own sweat and heat, and that's not comfortable for anyone. Along those same lines, your mattress ideally should be crafted from natural materials, like soft foam that's crafted from latex, wool, or cotton, or blends of those things. Those are also going to be more breathable compared to synthetic, memory foams. And memory foam especially, and I struggle with this because I love memory foam. It's the most comfortable type of mattress as far as I'm concerned. But when you're a hot sleeper or if you're dealing with hot flashes, it basically soaks up your body heat like a sponge, and then it just sort of holds it there. So it might be really warm and toasty and comfortable in the winter, but if you're having a hot flash or you're just warm in general, memory foam is not the best. So mattress materials that are made from, wool, cotton, more natural fibers, they offer more breathability. In addition to that, mattresses that have sort of like a hybrid design where part like the top is all like, layers of foam and soft squishy material, but the bottom part uses springs for support. That's going to allow more air to flow through the entire mattress. So it makes the mattress more breathable. And just like with the sheets and bedding, when the material is more breathable and the design of the mattress is more breathable, your body heat can escape. So it's not going to soak into the mattress and just be held. It's going to come away from your body a little bit, so you're not going to be just roasting in your own body heat. That said, buying a new mattress is not always on the agenda. So you can look at cooling mattress toppers that are also made from those natural materials, and you can put them on top of your existing mattress, and they'll work pretty similarly as far as allowing air to pass through and allowing your body heat to also pass through and move away from your body while you're sleeping. So any mattress toppers that are made from cotton, wool, lyocell, Tencel, and even some proprietary blends that are cooling mattress toppers or gel mattress toppers, those can be effective as well. One thing to consider when it comes to looking at cooling mattress toppers, the thicker the topper is, the more likely it is that it's going to change the way that your mattress actually feels. Now, if you want that to change, that's great. Get yourself a really thick mattress topper and be comfortable and happy. But if you really like the way that your existing mattress feels and you don't really want that to change, you'll want to look at a thinner mattress topper that maybe isn't going to change, the firmness or softness of the mattress as it is. On the subject of mattress toppers, and this is something that I have myself on my own bed right now, there are mattress covers that include basically a climate control system that physically adjusts the temperature of the surface of your bed. In my case, I have an 8 sleep, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, but it controls the surface of the temperature across the entire surface of the bed. So when I need that to be cooler or warmer, I can just adjust that in the app and the physical bed becomes cooler or warmer. That's a really good option. I think it's a brilliant design. Any sort of climate control system like that, it is hands down the most effective way to make your bed cooler at night. But these generally are not inexpensive solutions, but it's not necessarily within everybody's means. One really cool trick, and pardon the pun, it's completely not intentional, is to use flat but flexible cold packs, like gel ice packs. You can slip these inside your pillowcase, you can wrap them around your neck, you can lay on them, you can put them wherever you tend to get the hottest at night. And those can be a really inexpensive way to sort of head off hot flashes and night sweats before they occur. Now, gel ice packs don't generally last the entire night, but they will often last for 2 to 3 hours. So it's long enough for you to fall asleep comfortably, especially when you're struggling with having a hot flash or sweats while you're trying to fall asleep. I know that's a big struggle of mine personally. I'll get comfortable in bed and it'll be great, but the second I start to get too warm, all of a sudden that hot flash just comes on, and then I go through that whole cycle until I get comfortable again, and then it happens again. It just sort of it's like a never-ending circle of suck. But those flexible gel ice compresses can be really, really helpful for that. So now we're going to get into the actual product recommendations. And like I mentioned a few minutes ago, my absolute best solution for creating a physically cool bed that stays cool from night to morning is the 8 Sleep. Now, this is a more expensive system because it involves a mattress cover that goes over your whole mattress. And then it has a separate hub that sort of sits off to the side, and that controls the water that flows through the mattress cover. So right now I've got the pod hub on my nightstand. It's not going to stay there. I just wanted to leave it up there for right now while we were setting up. Everything is well fitted. And right now my bed is a little bit away from the wall because during setup, it advises you to have everything like about 1.5 feet away, like at least 1 foot away from the wall, so you can kind of, situate everything. But this is the water hose that connects to the back of the hub, and that actually goes, let's see if I can take you over here, to the back of the mattress, like the mattress pad. That's where it connects. So once this is set up, you don't want to have any kinks in it or anything. You just want to make sure it's not twisted or weird. And the cover does come with just a little sticker that tells you where the top left corner goes. So that's helpful when you're first setting this up. The hub itself is pretty sleek looking. It almost kind of looks like a desktop computer kind of. So I just want to kind of take you through the final form of the setup here. I've got the pod cover is on the mattress. I'm going to make the bed in just a minute. But where I have the hub set up, I have it off to the side of my nightstand. So it's out of the way, but you can kind of get an idea of how long the water hose is as far as where the hub is and where it connects in the middle at the top end of the bed. So, it's a good, I would say probably 5, maybe 6 feet long. So you have plenty of room to put the hub wherever you want, whether it's, farther away from the bed, or if you want it between the nightstand and the bed, it's sort of dealer's choice. But yeah, that's what it looks like fully set up in my bedroom. So the 8 Sleep cover goes across your entire mattress, and inside there are water channels, and you don't feel these, you don't even really know that they're there, except for feeling the temperature change, of course. But through the autopilot subscription that's accessed through the 8 Sleep app, the bed not only stays cool when you go to bed, like when you first lay down, but it will automatically adjust the surface temperature all throughout the night based on what your body is doing and the ambient temperature in the room. So when a hot flash comes on, your body gets hot, right? Like it physically gets hot to the touch. The sensors in the 8 Sleep pod cover that goes over the mattress can detect that. So when a hot flash comes on, the 8 Sleep will actually adjust the temperature and make it cooler to sort of head that off before it gets any worse. And it makes those little adjustments all throughout the night, and you're never aware of it until the morning, because in the morning on the app, you'll get all of the information as far as what happened the night before while you were sleeping. It'll tell you how many times it made an adjustment, and it'll give you other sleep data, like your heart rate, breath rate, and overall sleep score, and just all of that information, so you can kind of see what was happening over the night. But it's really, really helpful, especially if you're trying to track your hot flashes, because you can see how many times it made an adjustment and what it was. That's really, really useful. And what's really great about the 8 Sleep is that if you sleep with a partner, the 8 Sleep pod cover automatically includes dual zone control. So you'll have your side of the bed and you can have it set to whatever you need it set to, and your partner can have their side set however they need to. So no matter how many times the 8 Sleep is making adjustments because you're having a hot flash or whatever, your partner is oblivious to that because their side is completely independent. The coolest thing about the 8 Sleep, and this is new for 2025 and pretty specific to hot flashes, so anybody that's going through perimenopause or menopause right now, you can start rejoicing. I know I did. The 8 Sleep app now offers what's called hot flash mode. So when this is turned on, it lets you access quick cooling, and that'll last from 5 to 30 minutes. You can set the duration in the app for however long you need. But when a hot flash comes on and you need to activate that hot flash mode, it automatically starts a quick cooling process, again, on your side of the bed only, doesn't impact your partners at all. It'll cool your bed surface very, very quickly, and it'll last for whatever the duration is set for, and then it will automatically return to the temperature that it was before the hot flash mode was activated. It is a very cool feature, especially if you're somebody like me who maybe, sits in bed for a long time and, reads, so you're awake but in bed. I know when I start feeling the hot flash coming on and I'm reading, I could just hit the side of my mattress. I don't even have to open the app. I just tap the side of the mattress. There's a little panel, like a little button panel on the side, and I can turn that on. And it's been amazing. Now, the 8 Sleep system, like I mentioned, is not cheap. I definitely think it's worth it. Currently, there's a few models available: the Pod 4, the Pod 5 Core, and the Pod 5 Ultra, which actually includes an adjustable base. It's got like the whole kit and caboodle. But the 8 Sleep Pod has changed everything about the way that I sleep. Especially as I'm, navigating menopause. It's made it possible for me to fall asleep and stay asleep comfortably and actually wake up rested, which I wasn't sure I was actually going to be able to enjoy, to be honest. I thought I was going to have to wait for menopause to come and go before I was actually going to be able to sleep again. So yeah, it's a win. Earlier, we were talking about how materials can make a mattress cooler, specifically more natural materials along with coil designs that sort of allow more air to flow through the mattress. So this next product recommendation is for anybody who is looking to replace their current mattress and wants to get a new one. So the Birch Luxe is a natural mattress that uses a hybrid construction. So basically the top half has your soft, comfy, pressure reducing materials, and the bottom half has the spring construction that allows more air to flow up through the mattress. The Birch Luxe is a medium feel mattress, so it's not super soft, not super firm. It's pretty much dead in the middle. But it has layers of cushioning for comfort and motion isolation. And those top layers, and I'm gonna discuss them sort of in order from top to bottom. The top layer is organic cotton that's really, really breathable. The second layer is crafted from New Zealand wool, which is great for sort of contouring and sort of, you kind of sink into it and it's just really, really comfortable. Similar to memory foam, but without all of the heat. The next layer is crafted from organic latex, which really offers a lot more pressure relief. So, especially on your joints, whether you're a side sleeper, stomach sleeper, back sleeper, that latex layer is supportive, but also offers a lot of pressure relief on those joints. The bottommost layer, of course, has the steel coils, and these provide a lot of body support while also supporting airflow through the entire mattress. Now, there is an optional Cool Force layer that's available with the Birch Luxe, and this is something that I really do recommend getting if you're going to get this mattress, because it's really beneficial for anybody that's dealing with hot flashes and night sweats, and it really is going to help you to create the coolest bed possible. So the Cool Force layer, if you choose to get it, gets placed just beneath the topmost organic cotton layer. So you've got your cotton layer, then your Cool Force layer is right under that. This is designed with strips of graphite that are actually embedded into the surface, and that helps to conduct more heat away from your body. So it's going to keep you cooler all throughout the night, without having to use any extra electricity, without having to run an actual climate control unit like the 8 Sleep. Now, it's not going to get as cool as the 8 Sleep because you can't control the temperature with, just a plain old mattress. But it does help to basically release up to 23% more body heat compared to the Birch Luxe without it. So it definitely checks off all of the boxes as far as, your comfort, good materials, sustainability, and of course, coolness. So it's a really good option if you're looking to replace your current mattress. Now, if you're really working with a small budget and you're just looking for ways to sort of cool down your pillow, cool down, parts of your body, and just, not spend a fortune, this one's for you. The FlexiCold Gel Ice Compresses. This one is a large. It's pretty big, and these actually come in an even bigger size. But something like this can slip into your pillow really, really easily because it's not very thick. It has one side that's pretty soft, it's just fabric, and the other side is vinyl. This is very, very thick material, but this thing is so flexible. So if you slide this into a pillow, just underneath your pillowcase, it's gonna conform to the shape of your head. You're not really gonna notice it's there so much. And I took this thing out of the freezer about 3 hours ago because I wanted to see how long it really lasts, and it is still cool to the touch. And it's been out of the freezer for, about 3 hours, maybe a little bit more at this point. So it's not gonna last all night because it is just a gel ice pack. But if you're finding it especially difficult to fall asleep because you're dealing with hot flashes or you're getting too hot, something like this can last long enough for you to fall asleep, even if you're awake for a little while. And like I said, you can slide one of these inside your pillow, inside your pillowcase. You can even get a bigger one to physically lay on if you need it sort of underneath your back and shoulders. They have a neck version that's 23 inches long that you can wrap around your neck and chest. There's a lot of flexibility as far as size options on these, and they are really, really high quality. They don't leak and they work very, very well. And you can use this at night, pop it back in the freezer in the morning. And even when you take it out of the freezer, it is just as flexible as it is right now. So these are fantastic because they contour to your body. So no matter how you're sleeping, there's a way to sort of put it against you where it's just going to conform to your body, whether you're laying on top of it or it's inside your pillow or, whatever you need. But they're pretty inexpensive. I have several of them in different sizes, partly for injuries, but also because it is really nice to just slip that inside my pillow and basically have an ice cold pillow when I'm going to sleep. So earlier I talked about how certain sheet materials are cooler than others, namely your natural materials, like your cotton percale, lyocell, Tencel, linen, bamboo, silk, things like that. Those are more breathable and they also tend to hold on to your body heat a lot less. So you'll want to look at your current sheets and the materials that those are made of and possibly upgrade to something that's going to be a little more cooling. Now, I have several favorites that I'm going to mention, but the biggest thing is looking at materials like lyocell, which is often made from eucalyptus. Tencel is similar to that. It's derived from wood pulp. Linen, silk, bamboo, and of course cotton percale. The cotton percale are usually the really crisp sheets, the ones that they're not necessarily always super soft. They're a little stiffer, not quite starched, but they're just more like your fresh, crisp summer bedding sort of a situation. Brooklinen Classic. These are 270 thread count percale cotton sheets, and they're very crisp and cool to the touch. They're they're a really great option when that's what you're looking for. Now, if you're not a fan of the crispy, crunchy sheets, the quince bamboo might be a better option. That's a much softer sort of sateen texture that feels really smooth against your skin, wicks away that heat and moisture. Plus it's made from bamboo, which is like really sustainable, grows quickly, uses a lot less water compared to cotton. So if that's a concern of yours, it's a super sustainable material that you could feel good about using. Now, the Buffy Breeze sheets are crafted from eucalyptus. So they're cool and crisp, but they also feel buttery soft against your skin. So you kind of get that same cool, crisp feel, but it's a little bit softer than the Brooklinen Classic. The one thing that I really love about Buffy Breeze is that there are a lot of colors and prints to choose from. A lot of times you find sheets and they might be available in 4 or 5 colors, but nothing is quite right for your bedroom. Buffy Breeze comes in a lot of colors, a lot of prints and patterns. So, when style is a consideration, you're gonna find a lot of options with those. The Silky Tencel sheets from West Elm are another great option. These are also derived from botanical fibers, but the material is really soft and cooling. The fabric wicks away that heat and moisture so you can sleep more comfortably. Miracle Made is another sheet brand that is really good for thermoregulation because the sheets are actually infused with silver, and the material is really soft. Just because they have silver infused in them, they're super soft, but they are self-cooling and they're also naturally antimicrobial. So the fabric itself actually minimizes bacterial buildup, and you can actually wash these less compared to other sheets. They stay cleaner longer, but they also stay cooler. So especially when you're sweating a lot at night, it's gonna wick away that moisture and that heat, but you're not gonna have to wash your sheets every other day because you were sweating all over them. Along with sheets, you're gonna wanna consider your quilts or comforters, because again, the more breathable the material, the cooler that it's gonna stay. But there are some really great cooling comforters and quilts that I think are worth mentioning. First off, the Evercool from Rest. This is a pretty affordable option, and it doesn't have a lot of color options to choose from, but I mean, you can fix that easily enough with a light cotton duvet. The filling inside the Evercool from Rest actually uses Tencel, and the outer shell is crafted from a proprietary Evercool fabric that stays cool and helps to wick away moisture, but it also feels really soft against your skin. So once you feel it, you might not actually want to put a duvet cover on it, and hopefully at some point they'll have some more color and pattern options just worked right into the fabric. But when you're looking for a comforter, the Evercool is one of the best that you're gonna find that's gonna keep you cozy but cool overnight. Slumber Cloud carries a performance cooling comforter, and this is another comforter option if you're looking for something heavier. But the fiber fill that's inside is actually temperature regulating, so it feels similar to down. Like when you hold it in your hands, it's got a similar texture to down, but it wicks away moisture and heat during the night. This is one that comes only in white, like it's just a standard color, but there are duvet covers carried at Slumber Cloud, made from Tencel and other materials, so you can find something that is going to match your color scheme a little bit better. If you're looking for a quilt, whether it's just something for layering with other blankets or to use alone, like during the summer, the Buffy Air is a cooling quilt that's filled with a really lightweight material that stays fluffy and breathable. so your body heat can, sort of go through and it dissipates, it gets pulled away from your body. The Buffy Air only comes in one color, unfortunately, but again, you can get a duvet cover from Buffy, so you can put something else that's a little jazzier or prettier, whatever you want to do, but still enjoy the benefits of having that lightweight material that's gonna, wick away that heat and moisture while you're sleeping. You don't necessarily need to spend a fortune in order to make your bed cooler at night, although you certainly can. But no matter what type of a budget you're working with, there are solutions as far as changes that you can make to your sleep environment, whether that's the materials in your bedding, your sheets and your comforters, the mattress itself, or even just sleeping with gel ice compresses to just sort of cool things down while you're going to sleep. For my situation, dealing with perimenopause for who knows how many years it's going to be, the 8 Sleep has really solved a lot of my problems as far as, temperature regulation all through the night, but that's not necessarily within everybody's budgets. Hopefully this video and all of this information has given you some ideas of things to look at and consider as far as, changes that you might need or want to make to your bedding, your mattress, just your general sleep environment so you can start sleeping better at night and ideally cooler at night.